Are you one of those who are constantly chasing a dream, trying to turn it into reality, putting all your efforts, your investments, your passion, your commitment, everything you can think of, and yet nothing seems to be happening? But the only reason why you're not giving up is because the whole world tells you, don't give up, don't give up. You just might be at that point where you may hit gold. If you're one of those, then you just may be suffering from what is commonly called the sunk cost fallacy. Do you want to know more and how to get out of that amazing syndrome? Well, welcome back to the musings of an old maverick. Welcome back to the archives of my life. How often has this happened with you, or is still probably happening, that you've actually invested in a project with your time, space, experience, money, whatever have you, and are continuously doing it even though the ROI doesn't seem to chalk up to what it's supposed to be? And one of the reasons why you're not giving up is because you've already spent so much of time and energy into it. And the other reason probably why you're not giving it up is because people are telling you, don't worry, be persistent, be consistent, because no matter what happens, one fine day, boom, success is going to happen. You know, this is what is called the sunk cost fallacy. Imagine this: you picked up a book and you started reading it. The first few chapters are very interesting. By the time you come to the fifth or sixth chapter, it's not really worth reading this book. But you are still reading it constantly because you need to finish this book for the simple reason that you spend so much of time, space, energy reading the first few chapters itself. So why not finish the entire book? It's like, you bought yourself a ticket to see a movie, you walk in the movie hall till by the time it's interval, you realize the big mistake you've made. But since you've already paid for the movie, you might as well watch it till the end. Sunk cost fallacy. It's again a very interesting example. Let's say you decide to go for a week's holiday somewhere and you see a beautiful site which you feel is just right for you, and you sink in 25,000 as an investment, and you said, fine, I'm going to pay this money and I'm going to go for the week over there. And immediately after that, you suddenly see a pop-up coming up on your laptop or your computer, and you see another place which has far better facilities, but it's and at a cheaper price, not 25,000, but actually only 20,000. That's a 5,000 rupees difference. You say, okay, fine, fair enough. That's a great saving. You book that, and then you try to cancel the previous one or the former one, and you realize that is not cancelable. Now, which holiday will you eventually go to? In all probability, you will not take the holiday where you paid 20,000 rupees because you feel it's a lower investment, even though it gives you a higher and a better holiday in terms of facilities. But what you do is you're actually now going to go in for that holiday package where you paid 25,000 rupees, a higher investment, and even though it's got lesser facilities, it doesn't matter because you've paid 25k. The truth really is that you've already sunk in 45k or 45,000 rupees. That's been the money you've already spent. So you might as well actually go for the holiday which looked cheaper but is far more in terms of facilities. But you wouldn't do that because of what? The sunk cost fallacy. Now, I'm going to give you a few tips on how to override this syndrome and have a wonderful ROI in whatever you do. The first most important thing to do is don't look at the sunk cost fallacy. That's actually the simplest thing for me to say, but that's the truth. Don't look at what you've invested into it in terms of your time, your energy, your knowledge, your experiences, the money. Don't look at that. Look at the ROI only. Is it coming back to you within the time frames that you had decided upon? It's like, putting a business target, a financial target. Okay, I am going to, in this period of time, I am going to reap benefit A, benefit B, benefit C, and benefit D, one after the other. If that isn't happening, forget what you've invested into. If your ROIs are not falling in place, For heaven's sake, get out of that sunk cost syndrome or fallacy or whatever you call it, and look at an alternative area to invest and progress in. The second most important thing to consider is your fears of regret. Do you know that this is one big horror story for a lot of people who refuse to walk away from something that is just not going their way? And that's a fact of life, because that one feeling that, I may have lost out because I walked out. That fear of regret will remain as long as you don't take that one bold step and tell yourself, listen, dude, this is just not happening. It's time to now turn my back on this and walk towards something else where I could get a far better, assured, and a larger ROI than what's happening now. It doesn't matter whether you again land up out there with something that may not be working. That's all right. That's what entrepreneurship is about. That's also what happens in most professionals' lives. Most of the time, the things that you're working on or working towards don't necessarily happen. But because you're still stuck in that space, nothing will ever keep happening unless you don't move out of that space and keep trying newer avenues. Without that fear of regret that it didn't happen because, I walked out. Things happen when you walk away towards more profitable ventures. And the third most important tip I'm giving you on the sunk cost fallacy is when you have put in so much of your energy, time, space, knowledge, skill, money into the project, start looking at whatever you sunk in, whether it's really working or not. It's like this fisherman. Every time he comes to the market, the first thing that he does is he removes all his stale fish. Why is he doing that? Because if he doesn't satisfy his customers with fresh fish, his credibility is at stake. So whatever investment he makes, those fishes are his investments. If they are not working for him, he will discard it. Do you know that during the gold rush, who were the people who made the max amount of money? It were those guys who sold shovels and seeds. It was not those guys who went all out to collect gold nuggets. So you have to put your perspective in place. Whenever you get involved in a project, first, get the ROIs chalked out week after week, month after month, quarter after quarter, or whatever works for you, and ensure that those returns come in during that period of time. If it's not happening, check out the investments that you're making and those investments are not working. Either you change the investments that you are putting in or you switch the project. Don't get involved with those people, all those sayers who tell you, don't give up, remain committed, remain consistent. You're definitely going to hit big time soon. It never happens unless until you haven't got your ROI well measured, that you got your ROI well observed, that you got laser focus on that ROI and whether it's happening within the time frames you have set it up for. Don't get caught up with this one major syndrome. A lot of people get caught up with the sunk cost fallacy. This is Anand Nair signing off for now, and please do subscribe to my channel if you love this vlog, and of course please forward the vlog to those people you feel will actually enjoy and benefit from the contents just as much as I'm sure you will. Till I see you again, ciao for now, and you take care.